I Got the Hell Out does contain explicit content that might not be suitable for some listeners, such as children, those that easily get offended, and we do recommend that listeners at work put your earbuds in if you have coworkers around.
And if you like the show, please spread the word by telling as many people as you can. Would also appreciate if you would subscribe, rate, hopefully with 5 stars, and review the podcast on iTunes. You can find us there as well as on Stitcher and Overcast. You can follow us on Twitter at WasInACult, on Facebook at I Got the Hell Out, and on Instagram at I Got the Hell Out with an underscore after each word. You can contact us through our website at IGotTheHellOut.com.
Hi guys, it's Deb.
And Laura.
And it's another wonderful episode of I Got the Hell Out. You look sleepy and almost hit play instead of record.
I did.
And
I'm
then
very sleepy.
I probably might not have even have caught it.
See, and you're blaming me. Uh-huh.
Well, we're almost at our normal time.
We are, yeah.
Almost. I do have a cool Kool-Aid recipe.
Okay.
From a Claire L.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to, private message her afterwards because she's, way back there. In catching up on episodes.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean she's way back there?
Well, she's way back there.
Okay.
Because I'm going to read, okay?
Okay.
She's told me to feel free to name this. So, do you know what I named it?
God only knows.
To the Bloody New Year.
Okay.
Get the bloody part?
Yep.
Okay. She gives the full disclosure that she just made this up and hasn't actually tried it, but she will update us if she does.
Okay.
And I'm hoping you can tell me what the alcohol is, because I'm not quite sure. Okay?
Oh, God.
1 packet of cherry Kool-Aid, frozen strawberries, and you make the Kool-Aid like you're supposed to.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because it says water. Make the Kool-Aid in a pitcher. Pour the Kool-Aid into an ice cube tray. Okay. And you need Prosecco. Prosecco.
Oh, Prosecco, yeah.
What the hell is it?
It's kind of like a,
Is it wine?
It's like a wine, but it's a little bit bubbly. It's not
Ew.
like really a champagne. It's good. It's on the sweet side.
Okay, sweet is good. Dry is bad.
Yeah, no, it's on the sweet side.
Unless it's gin. So, anyway, you pour the Prosecco into the ice cube tray and freeze that overnight. You blend some Prosecco ice cubes, Kool-Aid cubes, and frozen strawberries to make a slushy.
That actually sounds really good.
We'll have to make that this summer.
It sounds like a good summer drink.
But it's to the Bloody New Year.
Okay.
And she says, P.S. I started listening to your podcast while traveling. I heard in one of your episodes about the cult having a podcast as well. I found it and started listening to one of Little Man's sermons. Made it all of about 6 minutes and promptly fell asleep. When I woke up, it was still playing.
Oh, you poor thing.
I told my husband if I start saying crazy shit in my sleep, I may have been accidentally controlled by a cult.
Oh, good Lord.
Speaking of which, I showed you a really funny, creepy, weird ass video when we got here.
Oh my.
And
that was just posted, right? I mean, that's relatively
I
new.
found it earlier in the week.
Okay, so it's relatively new, within a week or two.
Well, yeah, they're advertising for you to come to Passover 2020 and why it is so important. And by the way, all of April is 420.
Okay.
The entire month.
Well, yeehaw.
Anyway, but they're celebrating feasts there.
Okay.
And I showed you this creepy ass video with this woman that has just so much wrong in this picture.
Well, let me just tell you what's wrong. First of all, I find it hard to believe they couldn't find a less cluttered room to stick her in. I mean, we have an empty fish tank.
I'm gonna emoji her face. This is the actual fish tank that used to be a saltwater tank that there's no fish or anything in it.
Right, keyword being used to be.
Well,
so there's
maybe
an empty, discarded fish tank.
Well, maybe
in the
Little
background.
Man got fed up because the clam kept starting fires. Remember I told you Kenny set the fish tank out?
Right.
And set the room on fire? But the empty fish tank is the first thing that catches your eye.
Yes, we have a landline sitting there.
That looks like it's from the 70s.
Absolutely. We have some kind of a lamp. It looks like an oil lamp.
Yeah, because remember they do the lamp lighting.
Okay, so that we have a stray one sitting there. We have...
Those look like lampshades on top of the empty fish tank, don't they?
They look like lampshades, or they look like cardboard things that you plant, like you start seeds in to plant things.
Now, I remember mentioning to you a few episodes ago, or maybe it was when we were talking, But I was mentioned about Photoshop and how back then, he was shaking hands with all these dignitaries
Right.
and world leaders and
I'm sure he
stuff.
was.
Okay. And this was like back in, the late 90s. So Photoshop was pretty new. But some of it could be really made believable. But back then, if you knew what to look for, you could go, oh my gosh, the hand color.
Right, but the
that's
majority
reaching-
of people didn't know what to look for.
Right. So there's all of these pictures of little man shaking hands or meeting with these dignitaries. And I said, I wished I had pictures of them.
And that's what all of these are.
Behind this woman in this cluttered room is this cluttered wall. And I about shit myself when I realized that's all the photoshopped pictures. They must have taken them out of the main sanctuary because they look so phony. At this point, people would be going, man, that's really bad Photoshop.
But it's like there's crooked pictures on the wall. I mean, they literally took this room and just shoved her in there.
This bookcase.
There's crap hanging off of it.
Well, that is probably because the books are for sale or you're not supposed to touch them. One of the two. So.
They need to step up their game.
Now, what did you think about her hand motions? That was the other thing that got me.
They were the same hand motions.
Over and over.
Over and over
now,
and
this,
over.
Claire only made it 6 minutes into one of Little Man's sermons. This video was only 4.5 minutes long, and I kept looking at you, and your eyes never stopped rolling. I would like to discuss the one part of why it's so important to show up at Feast.
Okay.
April this upcoming year.
Okay.
Do you remember, or did it just like all slide through your brain?
It slid through my brain. I just couldn't, like my eyes were just going back and forth with the clutter in that room.
Okay, it's so important for everybody to get to the cult because the feast, I mean, they just keep changing the meanings of words, but the feast is actually meant to protect.
Okay.
Okay? And anybody who's at the feast is going to be shielded from this giant fireball. Didn't you hear the warning about the giant fireball?
So there's going to be a giant fireball in April.
Well, Pastor Little Man, he said it's going to happen a year from now. And then she got all excited.
But she said no, but then she said
she got all
could.
excited and said, but remember, it could happen this Passover. And then she started giving some Bible quotes and stuff.
So they're covering their ass. So if it doesn't happen this April,
hey,
we said it could have.
You
we
attempted to cover
could.
your ass,
right?
So, did anything else strike you about this photo?
What, that wasn't enough? No. What?
Some of the clutter, I can't even figure out what it is. This looks like a water purifying system of some sort, creamer, an empty sugar container. What is this electrical equipment sitting over here?
It literally is one, like a room where they just throw crap that they don't know what to do with, is what it looks like.
Okay, we're moving on.
But thank you for sharing that.
Okay, now I trolled their page long and hard just a couple of times.
What'd you find?
I found bread sacks.
Okay.
Okay. They're not really, anything to write home about. God always fulfills our needs. Another, honor your father and mother. But,
they need to step up the bread sack game.
there's two more. Awake to righteousness. And then in big bold letters, don't sin. And they took that from 1 Corinthians 15:34. And it says, in this last generation, and the number 19 and an arrow pointing up to the 34 on Corinthians.
Okay.
I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. And the righteous will flourish like a branch. And see how branch is all big, bold, sharpied out? Okay. And it says the branch, dash, little man, lot numbers on stone. I don't know.
I have no idea what that means.
Probably maybe the stolen gravestones from his parents. I showed you those where
Right.
he erased the dates somehow
Right.
and put them back badly. But it says 17 plus 74, and he takes Proverbs 8:28. So I don't understand how 17 plus 74 equals 8:28 or even 28.
I got nothing.
Okay. Well, now here's the thing I want you to notice. Where are these bread sacks always? Where do they
How
seem
the hell
to
do
be?
I know? On a countertop.
No, let me make it a little bigger. What does that look like to you, that texture?
A carpet.
Indoor, outdoor carpet that seems to kind of be gray.
Okay.
And it hit me that every bread sack I've ever read from, it's all on this gray carpet. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, this is going to be really funny, and I cannot wait to make a phone call on January 3rd. Do you know who I'm going to be calling?
Oh, I think I know what you're referring to.
Do you know who I'm going to be calling?
Is it not the Better Business Bureau?
Okay,
But
I am going to be calling that town's Chamber of Commerce.
That's it.
Okay.
And please tell us why.
Well, we got a crazy member in our group, okay? And I'm not giving them out by name.
And you mean crazy good?
Crazy in a good way. They're perusing their shit before I even get to it and giving me tidbits and this and that and the other thing, okay? Shout out to you. You know who I'm talking to. But they sent me an interesting thing that the cult published, okay? And they published this December 21st at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
On their website.
On their official website, okay? Now, after I looked at this and I couldn't stop laughing, I texted it to you, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Now, I have shown various people this, and I have done my own sleuthing. Mm-hmm. Now, we were up to winning an award earlier this year.
Right.
Okay. Pittsburgh does the Best of Pittsburgh. Okay. And it is sponsored by City Paper.
And that says that everywhere.
Okay.
Right.
Now, this person couldn't stop laughing either because apparently the cult has been awarded the Best in That Town award. Take a look. Okay.
But isn't it Best Religious Group or something?
Wait a minute. It gets better. It gets better.
Sorry.
It gets better. Okay. They have an official looking plaque type thing.
Which anybody could make.
Okay. And it says their name at the top of it, the cult. Then there's a line, and underneath that it says religious organizations with an S. Okay. Now, isn't that S a typo to begin with? Because if we would have won, we would have won the best podcast, not the best podcasts.
Right. Podcast. Right.
Okay, so there's their first typo that I had to laugh at because I had to confirm this with other book smart people that it was an actual mistake, okay? That's how the top of the plaque reads, and it says Best of 2019, and it has the town's name. Mm-hmm. Okay, now the town that the cult is in, there is another city in America that has the same freaking name.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you notice on their plaque, it just has the town's name, and it doesn't have it as a state. So, wouldn't you think the state would be there?
You would think.
You would think. Okay. Now, here's where it gets. Okay. That's all this plaque says. Best of 2019 with the town's name. And underneath that, it is presented by that town award program. Okay.
Like there's some organization just called the award program.
Wait a minute. Well, we're just going to use Pittsburgh in the place of that town.
Okay. Gotcha.
Because here's the second typo that I came across.
Okay.
Shouldn't it be presented by Pittsburgh Awards Program? Because they're giving more than one. It's an awards program. It's the Academy Awards.
Or it should be Pittsburgh's award program.
Either way, it's messed up. So you got two typos there, culty people, on your pretty sure its own made-up award.
Exactly.
But here's another thing. They actually made themselves a glass trophy. A glass participation trophy that says the same thing as the official looking plaque.
Oh my God.
Now, while I was sleuthing, okay, because this came to my attention over the weekend, and I was like, damn it, because I wanted to call the Chamber of Commerce.
Right.
Because wouldn't the Chamber of Commerce know if there was actually an award program?
You would think so, yes.
And who won it, right? Mm-hmm. Because that's what the Chamber of Commerce does everywhere.
They would know-
They're aware of all the businesses, all of the services,
And they would know any awards
organizations.
that are won by a company, a group, a whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they made themselves a nice little glass one, okay?
This
like
is
a trophy.
So fake.
But here's what got me. I started looking at this last night as I'm writing this. It's the same damn gray carpet that is...
No.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. I got to find the picture. Okay, where's it at? I know I saved this because it was just too priceless to not save. Okay. First of all, here's their glass.
It's the same carpet, yep.
Okay, but look at this picture. Now, there's a random pair of men's shoes in the background with no feet in it. Okay. This right here off to the side is a wheel from some kind of dolly to move either folding chairs or heavy equipment or something. Just one wheel. And over here it looks like a piece of scaffolding, like the leg of a piece. If you had an award that you got, why are you
putting it on the ground
on the
carpet.
floor with all of this clutter in the background?
The best part is the angle of this picture. Somebody was laying on their stomach with a camera.
I didn't think of that part.
Look at it. That's the only way you could get that picture from that angle.
But it's the same freaking carpet. Do you see
Wonder if that was Little Man laying on his stomach.
I doubt it was Little Man. But they thought to give themselves an award. I really am hoping to call on January the 3rd.
Oh, you have to.
I was so disappointed. And I couldn't wait to tell this because it was just killing me.
And if they say that they have not heard of anything, you need to enlighten the Chamber of Commerce.
I planned on it.
Absolutely.
You got an email that I can shoot you these pictures. They're Now, here's the funny bullet points on this, okay? I went to our own Pittsburgh, best of. They don't have a best religious organization.
No.
Can you imagine if we were fighting on the best religion in Pittsburgh? You'd have the Baptists fighting the Protestants, fighting the Methodists, and the crazy cult up the street wins. Come on.
Yeah, give me a break.
Seriously.
Give me a break.
So I got curious about this. So I looked at, hours that we were in, and I went to, 8 or 9 different major cities, okay? Mm-hmm. None of them have a best religious organization. They have best nonprofit.
I would love to know.
They do have best nonprofit.
Well, yeah.
Or like if a church runs a shelter for homeless, the best homeless shelter could be a church.
It could be programs that they're doing, not the actual church itself.
Best religious organizations. I love the S on the end, okay?
Oh my God. I would love to know, and I'm saying this with sarcasm, who were they running against?
Exactly. I mean, the Southern Baptists down there are big, so
there's no way they beat the Southern Baptist.
Wouldn't you be taking pictures at the ceremony? Now, here's another bullet point.
Absolutely.
Here's another bullet point. Not only did they have their own made-up category, okay, they got this award December 21st at 3:00 in the afternoon. The winter solstice. Yay!
Oh, my God.
I wonder if they giggled about that. They were giving them their own award on a pagan holiday.
They had no idea. Give me a break.
Now, every other competition for the best of cities, they're all held at the beginning of the year for the voting. And then they all have parties. Like, we went to the party.
Well, why do they not have pictures of Little Man holding the plaque? Why do
they not have the award trophy?
Why do they not have a bunch of elders all, celebrating this whole big, wonderful news? Why is the thing sitting on a carpet?
I don't know.
With a pair of shoes in the background.
There are just more questions that beg answers when you look at these things. Why is Little Man not there accepting the award?
Exactly, because come on, those are the pictures that are plastered everywhere. You like the person accepting the award, holding the award with the person that's presenting the award.
Yes, I seriously just cannot wait to call this town's Chamber of Commerce.
Oh my God, you better text me as soon as you get off the phone with them.
I may make you wait.
Of course you would.
That was like the best thing I've ever found on their website. Grammatical errors and all.
Oh my God. And like, who did they call? Hey, we need a plaque. We need a glass.
Well, sometimes when I go home Campbell's Run Road, there's that trophy place, it's up on Campbell's Run.
Could you imagine?
Come on, we live in the age of the internet. You
I
can
know,
order
but
anything.
could you just imagine, like, this is what we need. We just need one of them. We don't need a second place or a third place. We just need a first place.
Yep. And let me tell you, people that, like, we get our shirts done, the postcards, everything, right? If I was running a print shop and I misspelled something, the owner is going to point this misspelling out to me.
Right.
Okay? And say, did you realize you misspelled this? Well, maybe it's a misspelling on purpose, like praise the Lord, Lard, which that's what little man would always say about other people being in church. Praise the Lord, okay? Mm-hmm. Well, that would be an intentional misspelling that I might put on one of our postcards because it's a little man saying, okay?
Right.
But for them, if somebody is doing awards for a living and not just a print shop, or wouldn't you point those out?
You'd think.
You would think. I actually had the guy who does our stuff point, a mistake out to me, and I was like, ooh, I didn't even really see that. I can't wait for January 3rd. Okay. A big thank you to everyone who sent a Christmas card to Misty for Christmas. That was at...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of people said they sent her one. I hope it was awesome. I have yet back to get to the... That was from an ex-member who sent me that link.
Okay.
So, yeah. And did you know Pittsburgh is among the rudest cities in America?
I saw that in the news.
I was shocked. Not us.
I saw that.
Not us.
Well, there's some people that, you run into that's like, yeah, that makes sense.
That's what a lot of the comments on Facebook said. Yeah.
I can kind of see it.
Okay, what else do I have? Ex-member Brandon, he finally got married to his lovely wife, Kelsey, yesterday. Congratulations,
congratulations.
Guys. I love to see ex-members so fucking happy. Do you know what I mean? Living their life and doing what they want to do and enjoying it. You guys enjoy your lives together. You're a cute couple. Kelsey was not a part of the cult.
Okay.
So there is life after the cult. Things do happen, Okay. Now, we talked about their numerology last week. Their gematria shit, which is gematria and whatever. And the numbers 828 and 1074 were mentioned. And
Did you hit on the lottery?
Fuck no. And by the way, you can play in the daytime and you can play in the evening.
Yeah, I thought
so
you could
now
play
they can
twice
take
a day.
twice as much as your money. So, just to be on the safe side.
You played both.
I played both. Okay. 828 came nowhere close to winning. Ever. All week long. Either day or night. But, 1473 was pulled yesterday instead of 1074. I mean, the 4 and the 3, it's almost the same numbers, just in a jumbled order. But that doesn't get you any money either.
Oh, you didn't play it was it boxed or whatever that you can get them in any order?
Well, it wouldn't have mattered because the number was 1074.
Oh.
And it came up 1473.
Oh, forget it. Yeah.
So, yeah, but... Yeah, they're not good at predicting things, I don't think. Or maybe God just doesn't want me to win money off of their knowledge.
Well, they're not exactly good at predicting the end of the world, so why would they be good at predicting numbers for the lottery? Right?
I don't know. I just found it an interesting experiment on their number shit, okay? I posted on Facebook this morning the zombie man, snowman attack, if you didn't see it.
I did not.
Oh, it came up in Facebook memories, and it was funny because I rode my son to work the other day, and he mentioned this. And it was 7 years ago today. Me and my son went outside and built snowmen, and we made a zombie attack. And there's about 9 pictures to look at. It was my best memory that involves snow, because I don't like snow. Cherry Jello works well as a blood substitute.
Oh, geez.
It instantly gets kind of gelled and freezes and doesn't melt your snowman. And then you can add strawberry preserves as brains.
Oh, my God.
What? That was a fun afternoon. Okay. And last night as I was doing the show, I realized I didn't post a picture of our very first Christmas tree when we got out. Okay.
Oh, okay. Did you finally post it?
Well, I was writing the show and I was like, damn it, because squirrel. Okay.
Right.
So I just threw the picture down on the book and it was partially written in, and I took the picture and I'm getting ready to post it. And I realized that basically only one word was visible
From the notebook?
from the notebook.
What word was that?
I posted this, and let's go to Facebook here. It was the word dildo. Look at your face.
Oh my God. What were you talking about?
I'm getting there.
Was that for this week's show?
Yes. I threw the picture down.
Why are we discussing dildos?
Okay, well, here's the picture. Okay, and I put it out. I apologize for not having it out there sooner. Okay, and I was getting ready to post it, and I'm sorry it took so long, guys. Our very first Christmas tree after we got out of the cult. New show tomorrow by 2. Can you see anything on the homework book? Talk to y'all soon. Hugs and love to everyone.
And apparently somebody saw something in the homework book.
Well,
let me see it.
Okay, top right hand corner.
Oh my God.
Well, my son called me. My youngest son, Kat. I got to talk to him last night. It was wonderful. Just about life stuff in general. You know what I mean? His 21st birthday is coming up next month. But we always got a kick out of teaching my mother new things when we would go out to eat. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Okay.
But for some reason, my mother brought up, and this had to have been, 10 years ago, okay? And she brought up something about how a pink sock fell out of her dryer, and she doesn't even own a pair of pink socks, okay? This is where my children busted out laughing. And they proceeded to tell my mom what a pink sock was according to Urban Dictionary. And if you've never been on Urban Dictionary, warning, it will suck you in like a black fucking hole. Okay.
Oh, you'll be on there for hours.
Well, my mom, she brings over a picture from the cartoon strip in the newspaper about a cat, and it has a pink sock. Okay. Well, I asked my son, give me another good word, okay? Something I would have no idea what it means, okay? Laura. I told him it had to be kind of tame enough that I could say it.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
I can't believe this thing exists, first of all. And if it does, who the hell thought of this? Do you know what an Alaskan pipeline is?
No, and I'm afraid to look it up.
Okay, according to Urban Dictionary, people in Alaska, I'm sorry guys, I didn't Snopes this, okay? They take a condom, they take a shit in said condom, they tie it shut and they freeze it, and then they have a dildo. And that's why it was in the upper corner of underneath the picture.
Ooh.
Who would do this?
Ooh.
Who would come up with this?
Ooh, that's all I can say.
But these are the conversations I have with my children that I never thought would exist in my entire life.
God. And you told your mom that?
No, she was
now
in on
she knows.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I'll get a call about this later. Okay, but yeah, shout out to Dana R and a Crystal C. They noticed that right off. They noticed that word. And I'd like to give shout out to my son, Kat. He gave some very thoughtful Christmas gifts to people this year. And he told me what he gave each person. And I was like, oh, that is so sweet. Oh, that is so sweet. So it's not the price tag. It was actually the thought involved. And he thought about what would benefit the most each person. So
Right.
I love you, son. I love you. I love you. I love you. Now, what are we off to?
I don't know.
Oh, I about shit myself last night. For whatever reason, old man Billy
Oh gosh,
and,
yeah.
and another friend of mine, they're members on that official page. For whatever creepy reason, maybe they forgot to unfriend them when they left the
Right.
cult or whatever. Yeah, I'm not saying any names, but I about shit when I saw that there was 3 people that I knew now liking that page, and I had nice.
That's kind of creepy.
Well, I had a nice text message because, yeah, they're much braver than I am. I'm like, are you crazy?
God.
Shout out to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And where would you like to go next?
Oh, what choices do I have?
We can go to pending posts.
Sure.
Okay, pending posts, and we also have, yeah, we're at pending posts, so we'll just do that one. Well, I gotta get to pending posts.
Okay.
Okay. Look, I gotta show you my picture. Well, I'll show you pictures.
You are all over the place.
I am all over the place. Well, the coffee's kicking in,
Okay.
okay? Okay, pending posts, here we come. Because there's some interesting ones.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go to Tabitha. Tabitha D says, "Hi all, I love this page. I love this podcast. I recently left the Mormon church and I'm feeling very liberated. Thanks for being a part of my journey. Mostly, I'm pumped to try the Kool-Aid recipes now. Mormons don't drink, which I've discovered is such a sad rule. Bottoms up." So, Tabitha, cheers to you anytime. Yeah, isn't that a sad rule that you can't have something? Come on now. You would think by now the Mormons might let you have a little bit, don't you
Well, I
think?
know hardcore Baptists don't drink.
No, they don't either. They don't dance. They don't. Okay, where am I going?
More pending posts.
Yeah. Elena M. She wanted to share her Sabbath Doomsday cult experience because she's from
Ooh.
a different cult.
Okay.
I was raised to believe that the National Sunday Law would usher in end times. It would be in the United States, and it would be a law mandated that everyone go to church on Sunday, keep Sunday as the Sabbath. The Sunday keepers would be able to, by law, murder the Sabbath keepers. So basically, everyone was going to come after and kill us or try to kill us. The Sabbath was the last test of the loyalty for God's people and was the seal of God, and Sunday was going to give you the mark of the beast. I'm going to post this to read, but her senior year of high school was in a boarding school run by the cult.
Oy, oh my gosh.
They took them to the mountains to teach them how to survive when they would have to flee to the mountains to hide from the Sunday keepers. It ranged from wilderness survival skills to scenarios where they would say, this person is shocked. This person has a broken leg. The Sunday keepers are coming. What are you going to do? Tomorrow's always a constant terror. And, my cult did the same thing. Prepare. The end is coming. The end is coming. Were you genuinely scared when you watched that video? Did you really think the big blast is coming in April?
Oh yeah, petrified.
And if it's not this April, it's going to be next April?
Sure, why not?
Okay. We're still looking for ideas for our 100th episode.
Which is coming up.
Yeah, because this is episode 97.
Yeah.
Do you realize we've been doing this for exactly 2 years?
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's 2 years today, but I know it was right after Christmas and right before the New Year.
Right, so it's today-ish.
Happy 2 years to us.
Happy 2 years.
And we don't get any alcohol because I have to go home and make Rice Krispie squares and go to work. What?
Nothing. I have to go drive and pick up Pipsqueak from getting groomed.
I know you guys got a dog-free episode. Isn't that cool? Yeah, we got a couple of ideas for the 100th episode. Now, where we're going to the next one. I don't have many of these. So, Ann O writes and says, "Thank you for the ad. I started listening to the podcast because I was in an abusive relationship with my ex-husband who is very much a narcissist, plus being raised Catholic school and all. Ever since my divorce, I like learning about psychology on how some dipshit can mess with people's minds. What better than that than a cult? Anyway, I relate every now and then to your experience, but the biggest thing I can relate to so far she's on episode 42, by the way, Laura.
Okay.
Is how much milk you drink. And what
Oh, there you go. You're holding the milk jug.
and,
right now.
see, I'm going home right after this, so I only have a quart. Okay.
How will you survive?
Well, I usually carry a half gallon, and yesterday I took a gallon to work because I was going to be there yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So I'll survive. Trust me. It just in the end of the world apocalypse, I would most likely go back to the cult if they had the only remaining cow left.
God. Oh God.
And that is bad to say, isn't it?
That's horrible.
I would go and steal their cow. Hey, if you can ask, Santa Claus for a bunch of stuff and he don't give it to you, right? Mm-hmm. So you can ask for the cow and they're not going to give it to you, so you just steal it.
There you are. Alrighty.
You'll find me in that town during the apocalypse stealing the only cow that has milk on the planet. She has friends that'll tease her about how she'll order at restaurants. Thank you, and Laura, for the podcast and all the laughs. And we didn't actually plan on all the laughs when we started doing this. It just turned into a shit show.
Well, some of the things they do, you can't help but laugh.
Okay, here's where our skulker went in and actually alerted me to their awards.
Oh, okay.
Award. They write, do what? I could not find anything on the city's website to confirm this. So the cult may be making their own awards now too.
Yeah, think.
And I've had quite a few people with some good computer skills trying to find anything about this award. An image.
I couldn't find anything.
You look too. An image other than what's on their Facebook page. Do you think we were the inspiration for them making this? Oh my God. Because if you think about it, we were up for an actual award. We may not have won it. But
I want to know that since they quote
and you know what?
Won.
The pattern of this, okay? The pattern on the back of the award. When we went to the award ceremony, everybody had the same plaque.
Right.
It read your name or what you
Right.
were. Okay. I just, you were going to say?
No, I wonder what Little Man said. Because if we would have won, let's say, we would have, here's the award that we won from the city paper, right? What did Little Man say? This is the award we won from. Is he going to make somebody up?
Well, it's the...
Or is he just going to be like, oh, we won this award?
Presented by, again, I'm only putting Pittsburgh in there, presented by Pittsburgh Award Program.
Which tells you nothing.
It sounds like an all participation thing. Like you would get it, they mimeograph it out at your school. Everybody gets one.
And will he mention to them who they ran against?
I don't know. Thank you. I love the fact that you skulked their page, but I can't post that.
And who came in second and third?
I don't know. Carly F. gave us a pierogi filled mac and cheese filled with pierogi.
Oh my gosh.
I will have to probably try those at some point. And Becca C. gives us a new shirt idea.
Okay.
Anything's play. She says, "Hope this is playable." Just about anything is playable here. We all know that, right? And Becca has a culty spelling to her name.
Oh.
Bekkah.
Yeah.
Or maybe her mom was just creative. Who knows? I don't know if she's an ex-member or not. We have a ton of them on here. But it's I kill your local pedophile.
Oh, that's an awesome shirt.
Yes. Yeah, pedophiles come in many, many ages and all kinds of stuff. We're not going into that again. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, what else do we have? Hey, guess who I'm going to give a shout out to?
Who?
Brandon.
And why?
Because he writes and says, "What's up, Deb? Me and the old lady are traveling for the holidays, and she put on the podcast. So far, we are 4 for 4 with me being mentioned, and I'm so tickled. I never mind being the example, whether it being quoting my smart ass or talking about my mom, who is the bitch I love to hate."
Oh, that's right.
Okay. And she says, he says, who, by the way, gives sermons now in front of the women and men, which is probably why you don't see her in video clips.
Well.
Wow. I heard she made chief head justice Judge, Kohana, Hinaha, whatever they call themselves.
Yeah, they made up some word.
All right, Brandon.
Wow.
He's probably going to be the first one I do an interview with because remember last week I promised interview material.
Yes, he's got to be the first one.
I've been so busy this week. Do you know what I mean? Life just grabs you by the ass. It's like life shoves a rocket up your ass, and you're like, where did time go?
Yipper.
I worked like almost 10 hours yesterday, and I didn't get home until almost 9 o'clock, and I sat down with, of course, my beer and my book, and listened to and I'm sitting there going, where did the time go? Because I had planned. I didn't have time to post one picture. Anyway. If anybody can find the bitch I love to hate, I would love to have a picture of her. Okie doke. And somebody wished them a Merry Christmas on their Facebook page.
Was there a response?
No. I don't know. They just screenshotted me that they went
That's
on and
beautiful.
Merry Christmas though. And again, I can't post some of this stuff.
God.
As funny as fuck as it is. So, the last thing that I really have is I learned how to save articles.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? I'm learning new technology all the time.
Okay, what article did you save?
This is a link from ABC News, and this is on somebody, hi Mel, she came across it, even though it's a couple of years old. I remember this woman and her story. We were actually all asked to write letters, maybe, to the judge. Okay. It's entitled, I'm Awake. Mother wins fight to keep children in South Carolina after leaving religious group.
Oh.
And it reads, with wet eyes and a broad smile, Amy walked out of a Texas courtroom Wednesday and embraced her 15-year-old son waiting for her in the hallway. This breaks my heart, okay? You are free, she said. We're free. You're going to have an education. You're going to have a life.
Oh, my
That's
God.
her first words to her 15-year-old son. Okay? After hours of testimony, a judge granted her temporary custody of her 4 children, allowing them to return to South Carolina, where they have been living since she left her husband and a religious group on August 1st. She testified that as members of the cult, her son was forced to work long hours in the group's slaughterhouse while she lived in isolation with her 3 daughters who were denied a formal education in medical care. She said on the stand that all of her family's decisions were made by her husband after consulting with the group's elders.
Oh,
because you always had to make sure your decisions were correct and in
Right.
line with the group, Laura. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Now, what's weird is the dude, he filed for divorce and sought custody of the kids after she left. She was just thinking, get me the fuck out of here.
Right.
And he actually went to the beastly court system, which we're not supposed to use, which surprised me because he was still a cult member. And that's what they did try to use the courts to their advantages. So he was thinking this was going to force her back.
Right.
Okay. He said, going back to the article, he filed for divorce and sought custody and said that it was his wife who kept the children from going to school and to a doctor. He said his son worked at the slaughterhouse to learn a trade. What do you say about that, Laura?
Brother.
Anything?
Give me a break.
Do you know what his dad's quoted as saying next?
Lord, what?
He loves it there.
At the slaughterhouse?
Yes!
What 15-year-old loves being in a slaughterhouse?
I would say a psychopathic one that maybe is a set future serial killer. What do you think?
I think that guy's full of shit, is what I think.
Okay, the things that come out of these cult members' mouths are just shock me. Okay? He also reported that his wife's claims that their daughters ages 14, 10, and 4 would be forced to marry older men in the group. Do you know what he told them?
Oh, geez, what?
I tell my daughters they're not getting married until they're 40. He said that on the stand. Yeah. Okay. Now the paper goes on to read, the cult is a religious, gated community on the outskirts of this town filled with mobile homes where many of its members live. The group and some of its members have faced legal issues in the past dealing with underage children. And Laura!
Gee, imagine that.
And yet, nobody's connecting all these fucking dots. Okay? I can't lose my temper here. I have to finish the article. Okay. In 2009, its leader, Little Man, was sentenced to probation and 6 months of community service after he pleaded no contest to 4 counts of child labor violations after he allegedly forced children under 14 years old to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the group's fields, cafeteria, canning operation, and butter making process, according to court records. Okay, your eyes are shut and you're shaking your head. What are your thoughts on this?
Just, what a crock of shit.
Okay, now here's something that's going to make your skin burst into flames. As a part of his plea bargain, Laura, prosecutors agreed to drop the bigamy charges against Little Man. Okay?
Okay.
Also, in 2009, pedophile elder was sentenced to 30 years in prison after a jury found him guilty of aggravated sexual assault for using a vaginal speculum on an 11-year-old girl.
Shit, stop.
This is all in the news, Laura. This dude at least got time, okay?
Oh,
and that's why I
dear
refer to him
Lord.
as pedophile elder,
Right.
okay? A third member was found guilty to injury of a child in 2007. That was the little girl who died, Abia, the 7-year-old, in a botched home surgery. It goes on to say, ABC News drove out to the cult's fenced-in compound and spoke to an elder who said the allegations and custody battle had nothing to do with their group.
Oh, really now?
I'm supposing. They're quoted as saying, "This court case really has nothing to do with the cult. This is a disagreement between this man and this woman, and both of them are in disagreement with this cult. It really has nothing to do with us."
I beg to differ.
Oh, get this. A day later, the same man sat behind the man suing for custody. Sat behind him in court. Same man.
Oh, coincidence, I'm sure.
Yeah, she said, Amy goes on to say that she waited until her husband left for work and she downloaded a Facebook app to her phone. She says apps are forbidden. You're not allowed to use a lot of shit. And she looked up someone she hadn't spoken to in 10 years. People, if you're in a cult, if you are in a bad situation, I can guarantee you, if you can figure out a phone number to a friend you haven't talked to, a family member.
They will help.
I know so many people that this is what they've done. They scramble for any contact that they could find. And they call the person up and they're like, "Oh my fucking God,
I need
help me. I need help." She created a profile and typed a message that she knew her mother-in-law would understand. Do you know what the message was?
Oh my gosh, what?
"It's Amy, I'm awake." Because we all say when you wake up, they can't put you back to sleep. When you wake up to that place is a bunch of crocking shit.
Right.
They cannot put you back to sleep.
You can't start believing it again.
It's like a kid in Santa Claus. Once you find out Santa Claus isn't real, you don't go back to believing it.
Right.
And the cult is the same way. Once you wake up, you become a danger to them because you see through all their bullshit and awards. Facebook helped somebody get out of the cult.
Wow.
Because that's what she downloaded.
That's
was Facebook
great.
and messaged her mother-in-law. Excuse me. And the mother-in-law happened to be on Facebook 1,200 miles away when the message from her daughter-in-law popped up. And she broke into tears.
Wow.
The mother-in-law was quoted as saying that she was leaving. She had the 4 children. She didn't even know how many grandchildren she had at that point.
Oh my gosh.
I have a friend whose sister is still there. At last count, they knew the sister had, I think, 7 or 8 children. 5 or 6 of them, the rest of the family has never met, is lucky to even know what their names are, and at this point, doesn't even know if they have any more nieces or nephews. Um, the mother-in-law said the first thing that Amy asked to do when she arrived in South Carolina was to enroll the children in school, which they did. The 10-year-old, the extrovert of the family, with streaks of color in her hair and a quick smile, returned from school that first day and told her family her mouth hurt from smiling the entire day.
Oh my gosh.
When asked if she was glad that they left the state they were in, the 14-year-old just nodded like she couldn't, like her head was going to rocket off. Okay.
Wow.
The grandmother who saw her grandson for the first time in 13 years for the first time in court. No, she saw her son because her son's still there.
Okay.
The mother-in-law saw her son for the first time in 13 years in court, and she is helping her daughter-in-law and her grandchildren because her son is not the same person she once knew, and it makes her very sad. Anyway, the story goes on to talk about what happened, how she ended up there. It was great at first. Everything was brand new. It's a new place. You believe it's the place. Okay. But it got to the point where she couldn't teach her kids anymore. I mean, me, myself, I couldn't only go so far, homeschooling my children when I did. But anyway, it's a pretty long article, but I thought you would enjoy hearing that. Amy even went on to say, it's going to be nuclear war every year. And every year you're petrified, going, okay, we're all going to die. My children have lived in fear for the last 15 years. They've been petrified, thinking they're going to die every single feast.
Jeez.
And I don't think that's right, Laura. Do you? Someone in a Christian group that monitors thousands of sects and cults is quoted as saying, I would say the cult, from my perspective, is certainly a spiritually dangerous organization. What do you think?
Yep.
Y'all gonna die. I mean, I know some places say it's doom and gloom, Anyway, Amy borrowed $600 and left the cult, and it felt free. She just loves being free. And I love when, she says her kids, she just can't stop looking at them because they smile all the time.
Gosh.
And just to see smiles on your kids' faces after years of misery, and we're all going to die. Anything to say on that?
Wow.
Her son changed his name to Jimmy instead of his culty name, She was afraid that they were going to get struck by lightning because they left. When she ate at a restaurant, she thought she was going to die because these are things that are in your head.
Right.
And it doesn't set well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh my gosh.
Do you have anything for today? Because I went longer on that than I planned to. I'm sorry.
That's okay. This is from their blog, and some of their blog posts are not as good as the other ones.
I'm sure you got the crumbs out that were...
I'm trying to scratch away and find some stuff here, but they do have a few gems here and there. This one is from October the 5th of 2019.
And you force yourself to read through this shit?
Yes.
Okay.
So this is under the Bible code topic. It is the city of Israel.
Which I've been there.
Yes. So they're talking about that. And the reveals of this.
Oh, what are we revealing?
It's a city on a hill.
Okay.
The house of God.
Okay.
It's wondrous.
Wondrous.
Peace.
Peace.
Kingdom times 2.
So it's like double heaven?
I suppose.
You get double heaven?
Kingdom times 2.
Okay.
7.
I'll take it.
Why not? City of refuge.
Okay.
Sanctuary city from Blood Avenger.
Interesting.
JG.
What's a JG?
I don't know. The letter J.
Okay.
The letter G.
Okay.
Able Way, which I guess maybe is that a street? Able Way?
No, ex-members will know what I'm talking about. What you're talking about.
Okay.
Able Way.
Sounds like a street name to me, like a street sign.
Sort of. Maybe Clyde lives on Able Way.
Inside joke.
Oh, I love the inside jokes. Oh my gosh. Okay, keep going.
Protection.
They're always protected.
I
Protected,
know.
protected, protected.
Perfect.
Because they're always perfect.
Prophets, faithful. 2020 to 2021.
Okay.
I guess something might happen in those 2 years. I don't know.
I don't know.
And nobleness.
Okay.
Then a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, we got all the lottery numbers there. Always the lottery numbers.
Okay, so then let's see here. They're talking about the highlights, I guess, from maybe the sermon.
Okay.
I suppose. They're back to Jupiter.
Always Jupiter.
What is up with Jupiter?
I don't know.
Is there something that you're not remembering?
I'll have to ask some ex-members, but
Because something's up with Jupiter, and it says
we're all partying still in 1994 in Jupiter.
planet Jupiter could hold 1,300 Earths within it, and it was Satan's headquarters.
Okay, with this number shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't bother to watch this video because it was really, really, really long.
Mm-hmm.
But it's titled 440,000 information panels in every memory cell.
Well, okay.
So every memory cell you have can hold up to 440,000 pieces of information.
And they know that, I'm sure.
God's secretary told him.
Exactly.
Okay, keep going.
Well, Satan's headquartered in Jupiter.
Well, yeah, I think we discussed that last week.
I don't know if we mentioned that that's where his headquarters is.
I don't know. Anything else on that crap?
Let me see here. Oh, just using the Roman calendar, you are mentioning the gods' names, the weekdays and the months.
Yeah.
Gematrix, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, the whole number and everything,
Yeah.
should be called God Matrix.
Yeah, I remember Matrix. They just took their culty part because, if you look at my name, you're kind of required to have them 3 letters in your name somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in your middle name. So,
okay.
Keep going. They made it more culty-ish, so it was more appealing. With adding the letters.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, then it says, the cult speaks everlasting words, not war and destruction, and we are in the last 3.5 years and the end
Oh my gosh.
of the 6,000-year plan of God. So again, they are predicting the end of time 3.5 years from now.
Well, they are always predicting.
I thought they
the end.
stopped. Didn't you say they stopped for a while? Apparently they picked it back up.
I don't know, but Little Man can be quoted as saying, God says, we must endure till the end. You can't quit now.
Okay.
Are you enduring to the end?
Do you have a choice?
I don't know. You couldn't get through that 4.5 minute video. Would you like another Little Man saying?
Sure.
Okay, this is, I cut it off. Oh, this is from 04, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I would like that you would go back and listen to my sermons on praying. There's power in prayer. I've seen things that changed, brethren, that seemed impossible to change because of prayer. They changed. God changed them. I couldn't, and I knew I couldn't. When I was fighting for my life and for the cult, and I was to my lowest point, retaliation wouldn't have helped. I would have died if I retaliated. I gave them what they wanted. I asked, what do you want? Okay, it's yours. Take it and go with it. I've been thankful ever since. God had already granted me more than those people will ever know. They could have shared it with me. The fuck's he talking about?
I have no clue.
Was he mugged and put it in somewhat of a haiku-ish type thing?
His lowest point, and God just said, here you go.
And he didn't retaliate. He could have died if he retaliated.
Right.
If anybody knows what this bullshit means, please, please, please let me know. There's all of 6 people in the women's class at this point. Their page it makes me giggle. It does. Gosh, are we almost out of time already?
We are almost out of time.
Shit. How does this always happen?
I don't know. What else do you have?
I don't know.
Throw it there quickly. Come on.
What? No. I was gonna say this is gonna be the last time for 2019 that we'll be here. Next time we'll be back is 2020.
Ooh.
And I still think they should have Barbara Walters say. And this is Barbara Walters, and it's 2020. Come on.
Is she still even alive?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And did you? I mentioned this before. Barbara Walters, and anyway, they're Anne Frank. They're the same age. So is Martin Luther King Jr.
Didn't.
Martin Luther King. I don't know.
Okay.
Go back and listen to the episodes.
Okay.
Look it up on Google.
Sure.
Anyway, yeah, it's what was I saying?
Barbara
New
Walters
Year.
2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody makes all these New Year's resolutions, Not me. I'm just gonna be the same smart mouth, crass ass person I've become. Okay. You either love me or you don't. Are you making anything new?
No, I don't really make resolutions. I kind of like pick a word and kind of go with that word or try to throughout the year.
Okay.
So like my word for 2020 is choices, as in make good choices.
Yes.
And sometimes it's difficult to do.
I know a lot of people in like a 12-step program, and the higher power is God, right?
Right.
I know a lot of people that don't believe in God. So I asked somebody the one time, I'm like, what do you use as your higher power? And they use the acronym God. When they think of a choice that they have to make, is it in a good, orderly direction?
Oh.
Okay. Or is it going to take them off their path?
Right.
So, whatever works for you guys. Do you know I still learn things in life? Do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's somebody that I'm kind of in the friends group that I really don't like, but I'm always nice to them. And, somebody asked me why I'm nice to this person, and I'm like, if you're nice to somebody that you don't like, it doesn't mean you're fake. It means that, you're mature enough to tolerate them for a while.
Yeah.
And not cause drama and a kerfuffle.
Oh,
And
drama. Yeah.
I love the word kerfuffle. What? Don't you?
I do now, yeah.
Okay. Faith in Humanity Restored, the MSP, Metro Detroit Police Department. Troopers got on the horn with some big rigs, okay? And they had the big rigs cover all of the lanes of the highway. Because there was a man who was suicidal on the bridge.
Oh, wow.
So these truckers took time out of their day, their evening, because it looks like night, and made it so that the man could not jump from the bridge.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kudos to people
Heck
who
yeah.
don't have to help, but have the means to, and they do it.
Right.
I honestly don't ever try to be better than anybody in life. I try to be better than the person I was yesterday. What did I say that might have hurt somebody's feelings? Don't do that again. Think before you speak. Those type of things, everybody out there, if you catch yourself begging for, human decency, kindness, anything from a friend or a relative, I just step back and realize that, you deserve more than the bare minimum. And those are things that people should give everybody every day.
Right.
We're all humans. We should all be kind. Anything to add?
Yeah, no, absolutely right.
I mean, it's a new year coming up. And you don't have to start big. It's little things. I mean, smile at somebody.
Yep.
Everybody, bad people can and they do improve themselves. See, I wrote this one. No, I didn't write this one. Bad people can and do and improve themselves and deserve to have the ability to do so. Do you agree with that, Laura?
Right. Yes.
But even if a person improves, people who they've hurt are not required to forgive them or give them another chance to be in their lives. That's up to you.
That's true. Absolutely.
There's people who have wronged me that I wouldn't cross the street to pee on you if you were on fire. It won't happen. And I was talking with a friend of mine that I'm not the same scared little girl I was growing up with a 6'4" father, that it was his way or the highway. And then, you're dating people, and I guess apparently you pick bad men if you have a bad dad. And, you end up thinking, well, the man has all the say in it, and you got nothing.
Right.
And then you end up in a crazy-ass, fucked-up cult, Laura. How did I get there? I asked my mom that, and she's like, she told me that I've ended up in places that she has no idea how I've ended up in those places. If the biggest achievement anybody out there did this year was to make the decision to stay alive. I commend you.
Yep.
I applaud you. I love you. There's people that care about you. Trust me, reach out to me, Laura, anybody.
Yep.
I get some of the most amazing conversations from random family and friends that I have met on our Facebook page that say, you know, I was in a bad situation too, and I got out, and how freeing it feels,
Yep.
and how scary it is sometimes. I didn't know how I was going to make it when I left, and you know, asshole Ken gives me $50 a kid a week isn't very much to spend on school clothes and snacks and food, and but guys, give yourself some credit. You got more power in you than you'll ever give yourself credit for. You know, that happy mask that you put on when you're feeling sad and people ask you how you are, and you're like, oh, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the person leaves, you just go, and you're back to feeling sad.
Right.
Well, when you put on that fierce one, like, I've been in situations that, of course, I made a bad choice, Laura. And I found myself in a situation that I had to be a badass. Like, I had to walk into some place like I could kick anybody's fucking ass in this place. Don't even look at me wrong. And that was partially when I started coming back into being me. Because I don't think they're masks. I think they're parts of you that you just don't put on very often. They exist.
Well, it might feel like a mask because you're not used to wearing it.
In retrospect, the things that I've done, the things that I've gotten through, the fact that I didn't kill my children, I'm just totally amazed. And, you know, you got it in you guys. That's what I want everybody to realize for the new year is you got this. Things change so much in a year, don't they?
Oh, my Lord, yeah.
Things change from day to day.
Things can change in a second.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Wild Bill at work. Apparently, he's probably having his baby today.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. Somebody needed to come fill in for him immediately. So, hopefully. Everybody's been waiting on his dang baby. Not dang baby, but you know what I mean.
Right. Boy or a girl, do they know?
It's going to be a girl.
Girl.
So, of course, as always, the shit I didn't get to, we'll save for the new year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe well, you know what? Are we coming back before I can call that town? I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know. But we do have a song.
Okay.
Song dedication.
Okay.
For everybody who's listening. Everybody goes through hard shit, weird shit, dumb shit. Don't compare your traumas to anybody else's. If it hurt you, it's valid that it fucking hurt you. And you don't have to explain yourself to anybody.
Right.
But Rodney Atkins, Atkins, do you know who that is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, he sings country. You probably don't like country.
That's why I don't know him.
Oh, country's got some good songs. Now that, we have self-driving vehicles coming,
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting for the first country song where a truck leaves his owner and drives itself away. Okay?
All right.
Because you always got your truck, know?
Right.
Your girl's gone,
Yep.
blah, 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 blah.
Now my truck's gone.
Okay. But I want everybody to think about the fact that if your path demands that you walk through hell, because some of us have to walk through fucked up hell, walk through it like you own the fucking place, guys. Because you got it in you. Nobody knows that you're trembling inside. And it's a really cool adrenaline rush when it's finally over with.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Rodney Atkins. If you're going through hell, keep on going. And in the one part of the song, he's going through hell and he's wondering why his life's all fucked up when he's using, the compass of a needle to sew up his broken heart. And when you ask advice from a genie, from a genie inside a bottle of Jim Beam, and you wonder why the advice doesn't work out.
Good Lord.
Yes, it's a cool, fun song.
Okay.
I'll make you listen to it when we get done here.
Okay.
Do you have anything else to add
No,
for the new year for anybody out there? Words of advice, wisdom, stuff, whatnot? All right, guys, we got to go because Laura's going to get mad at me. You have to hit the stop button.
All right.
It's going to be...
I know. Well, we need to say goodbye. It's Laura.
And it's been Deb, and hope you enjoyed this.
Have a great new year.
Yeah, everybody have a great new year.
Have a great new year.
Bye, guys.
Bye.